When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world.
I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings!
Hi.
You're watching SeptumSin versus the World. I'm SeptumSin, I'm here with Kotobuki Jake, and we're here to show you what they got. Well, so we're going to, of course...
I got one of them. Or I will.
Well, we're going to be talking about things that are going to be, of course, appearing on store shelves, or internet store shelves, for those of you shopping online, in the next week. So let's play that beautiful release footage. Alright. So, who wants to start? Actually, why don't you start off this time? I've been starting off every time, but now we have an even number to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, there's a fair bit of interesting stuff this week, but a lot of it is re-releases of, like, middle-brow stuff that, you know, is kind of interesting. There's a few new things as well. One high-profile one, in part because this was one of Netflix's big earners, and it was one of the few that they really didn't waste much time putting on physical media. One of the very few. But unfortunately got nipped in the bud. I'm talking, of course, of their series House of Cards, which up until season 5 starred Kevin Spacey. And in season 6, it no longer starred Kevin Spacey. And Robin Wright took over. And, of course, she's awesome. So I'm sure season 6 is probably still pretty awesome. But season 6 is coming out this week. So if you've been collecting it all along, finish it off. If you've not been, but you've been thinking about it, yeah, might as well.
So, one of the things, of course, we of course held up a few representations. None of us have at the present any of these products that are coming out. Though I've got one that's on pre-order, and I think you've got one on pre-order.
Yes.
So we'll talk about those as we hit them. And speaking of, Code Geass, is that
Geass.
Which is the Geass Lelouch The Rebellion, which is a movie trilogy, which is coming out on Steelbook next week. And this is supposed to be a new story showing...
Is it?
Yeah, according to this, it talks about his return.
Oh, jeez.
So, again, I've been just hearing rumors about it. I've got the side story that was released not too long ago. I need to watch it.
Akito the Exile?
Yeah.
I still need to see that.
And, but it is a very good series.
Oh,
What I've seen of it is really good. I've seen the original storyline, which, first two, and looking forward to this.
Which makes you wonder how they could continue the story for a certain individual, but,
You never know.
You never know. Lelouch The Rebellion is a hell of a series. It's really good. It kind of did a lot of the same things Death Note did, but did it better. Or I thought it did anyway. But don't ever, if you start watching it, make sure you watch both seasons. Because season 1 leaves on a hell of a cliffhanger. So, here, hand me that. One of the visual I held up, if you saw our nice little title card, was for, I held up Creed. Creed 2, of course, will be coming out this week.
We'll show you a picture right here.
Yes. And I actually got to see Creed 2 in theaters, and I actually saw Creed in theaters. I've never been a big Rocky fan. I've never been a huge pusher for the series. I've seen the original Rocky, and I appreciate that it's an excellent film. Stallone I'm impressed with how much work he got done with that one. He wrote it and starred, and he did a lot with that one. I've seen a couple of the sequels in bits and pieces. But I really like the Creed series. Michael B. Jordan is a very, very impressive lead. Stallone does do a great job in the support, and so does Tessa Thompson and Felicia Rashad. And I honestly thought all of them did better the second go-around than they did the first time. But whereas everyone was talking about Creed, no one talked about Creed 2. And I'm like, what the hell? It's... yeah, whatever. Sequel curse, I guess. But if you are collecting the franchise, or if you're specifically collecting the Creed franchise, or if you're not really collecting it, you want to know what all the fuss is about, you're probably better off getting the first Creed for a foundation. But this one largely revisits, was it Rocky 4 or 5 that had Ivan Drago?
4.
Okay. Ivan Drago is back, and his son is up against the son of the guy that he killed. Yes, so it's an interesting family, generational blood drama. So, worth watching, yeah.
So, I'm on the opposite end. I've actually seen every Rocky movie, but I have yet to see Creed. My copy is still unopened. It's just so many priorities right now.
I don't know. That one is priority.
It is, but so many others that are up there in priority-wise. Like, for instance, rewatching all of the Marvel movies before Captain Marvel.
I say that, and I haven't seen Fruitvale Station. So
yeah, there you go.
The Michael B. Jordan, yeah.
So, we'll all get to things in our time. Speaking of getting to in our time, another series that I haven't watched past season 2, which is Fear the Walking Dead, which is coming out with its 4th season. And Fear the Walking Dead starts out prior to the Walking Dead series, the AMC blockbuster series. Though it is going downhill, it is still quite strong. This one was, let's have more Walking Dead while the regular Walking Dead is on hiatus. And I'll admit, the first season is kind of cool because you get to see a city as this whole zombie apocalypse starts. And it goes to heck quick. But I haven't seen past season 2. I know that season 4 they introduce one of the mainstays from the original Walking Dead series. So that's also a cool thing that they've thrown in. The cast is not as likable, in my opinion. So I have I've had a little bit less investment, but I think the storylines are a little bit more interesting. Well, they're not as dragged out. because they have less time to work with.
Right.
So maybe eventually Fear the Walking Dead will overtake The Walking Dead in popularity. You never know.
And actually, from the look of it, it looked like there was a live-action Japanese zombie flick on the list, if I understood correctly. And it looked like it was the same, similar premise to, what was it, Zombie Wonderland or whatever it is that was recently on the air that everyone raved about. I can't remember, but I'm sure the anime is better. But speaking of anime, and speaking particularly of quality anime, the item that I actually have on pre-order, and I will be hopefully receiving it at the start of the week, is an anime that I really wanted to go see in theaters and wasn't able to catch it. But it was actually one of the ones that was submitted for Oscar consideration this year. And it's called Liz and the Bluebird. And it's one of, I think, 3. It's either 2 or 3, I'm not sure. But it's one of the films in the Sound Euphonium franchise. And thank God Shout Factory is releasing it. And I say that because Sound Euphonium was released here by Pony Canyon. And it's ungodly expensive. But it's a KyoAni series that supposedly is flipping gorgeous. And it's about a bunch of high schools who are in a band, who not like a light music, but like an actual concert band, you know, like. And Liz and the Bluebird focuses on 2 of the characters. I believe they're both flautists. I can't remember. And they're practicing a particular classical piece called Liz and the Bluebird. And it's supposed to be a really good movie. I'm sure it's gorgeous. I'm sure it has great music. I was more than willing to put that one on pre-order. I can't wait to see that. Yeah.
Now you have to find a way to get the series.
Supposedly, this is one of the reasons I jumped on it. Supposedly, familiarity with the series is not essential.
Oh, well, that's good.
Familiarity with the series will help you. Anytime you get that background, it helps you appreciate a film. But supposedly it's a film you can watch even if you never heard of the franchise. So that's good. But if you want like a primer, if you want to know if it's worth spending Pony Can prices, check it out.
So last but not least, we have one Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Or one of this past year's Oscar
winners
on this list. And it's won a number, and that is The Favorite. No. Which has, of course, Olivia Colman won for Best Actress in this particular one. I'm looking over my little list to
That was the only thing it won.
I think it was.
No, that was the only win.
Okay, we had hoped
it was a surprising win because she beat out Glenn Close. And she was surprised. She had a great speech because it was more like her just standing up there going, what's going on?
But it was surprising because there were some. It was what we predicted it would win. It didn't win, and then what we didn't predict it would win.
Yeah,
it went. And of course, you can see more about that in the Oscar breakdown. It's by the same director that did Dogtooth, of course, the greatest film ever to hit.
Or if you wish to be more positive, Oscar completely overlooked Killing of a Sacred Deer. They gave only an original screenplay nod to The Lobster, but those were 2 critically acclaimed films that were from the same director. I have seen The Lobster, and it's a good film. It's weird as hell, but it's a good film. But yeah, our introduction to Lanthimos was Dogtooth, and oh my God. If you've never seen one of his films, it's hard to say which one to start with, but don't start with Dogtooth.
I think you should probably hold Dogtooth until after you develop a full appreciation for that director.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and cut it a little bit early this time around, give you all a little bit of a breather, and we will see you next time. So be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Yes.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Goodbye. Goodbye.